guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Foxy Locks 20 inch, I gotta get this right, what is it, 230 gram extensions, and this is in the shade Cocoa or Dark Brown. So if you guys haven't watched my other extension tutorial, I will go ahead and link that below. That was on the Bellami Bellissima 220 gram 22 inch chocolate brown extensions, and I talked all about how I loved those and I thought the quality was great. Just a little disclaimer and background, I've been using extensions for like the last 6 years probably, so it's been a really long time, and I've gone through Sally's Beauty Supply ones, which seriously suck if you want any kind of volume. I've gone through random online ones, I've been sent extensions that are terrible, and for the most part I've loved Bellami through and through, and I still think those are the best ones. So I am going to be kind of doing a comparison between the Foxy Locks extensions, which are the ones that I'm wearing right now, and the Bellami extensions, just because I feel like those are the two biggest ones on the market right now. Bellami and Foxy Locks are pretty much, they go hand in hand with the YouTube community. Most YouTubers use either Foxy Locks or Bellami, and I was kind of interested in trying both of them. I've been wearing the Bellami extensions almost every single day, probably every other day on average for the last 12 months straight. There's rarely been a week or a few days where I don't wear extensions, just because I like more body and fullness in my hair. I would recommend you guys go and watch that review first, just so you see kind of what I looked like before with the hair, and just do kind of a comparison for yourself. So this is a video all about what extensions I think you guys should buy, which ones are the best on the market, and basically just reviewing the Foxy Locks ones. So again, mine are 20 inches. In my opinion, that is extremely long. I have them in the darkest color they get. This is Cocoa or Dark Brown. Very, very dark. I mean, I had to dye my hair to match the extensions. So you get one 8-inch weft, 3 6-inch wefts, 2 5-inch wefts, and 2 4.5-inch wefts. So basically, what that means, if you guys aren't familiar with extensions, is you get different lengths of wefts, which is really good just because everybody's head shape is different. I have a huge head, so basically, I mean, if I use a few small inch wefts on the side, it wouldn't like cover the circumference, or I guess half the circumference of my head. So I definitely want to make sure that the wefts are long enough, and luckily enough, both Bellami and Foxy Locks do have long enough extensions. Let's go ahead and talk about the grams, because that is the first thing that people are like, what is grams, you know? It's basically just the weight of your hair. So Bellami gives you 220 grams for the one that I had before, and the Foxy Locks extensions, they give you 230 grams. That just, basically that tells me that I'm gonna get a ton of hair. So the first thing I noticed after using Bellami for an entire year and then switching to Foxy Locks is that Bellami's hair is much thicker than Foxy Locks hair. So, okay, so this is a Bellami extension, which they say that this is chocolate brown, but this is definitely more of a red brown. This is not your brown crayon in the crayon box. This has a lot more red to it than they let on, and I think that was my biggest pet peeve with Bellami, was because the color, I mean, they say this is true brown and this is not. I had to dye my hair a reddish brown to get it to match this shade. So if you're just a regular brunette like I am, I mean, this is a little too dark. Normally I'm a light brunette color, so if you're a true brunette, this is not going to match you, which is kind of annoying. But as far as the grams go, so Bellami says that they are 220 grams and Foxy Locks says that they're 230 grams. So you assume that you get more thickness with the Foxy Locks hair, which is just not true, first off. Okay, so these are the two wefts side by side. Now, mind you, I wore this one for an entire year, and you can barely see through, I mean, you can kind of see through the strands of hair, but this is the one that I just purchased from Foxy Locks, and it is so much more thinner. I don't know where they get their 230 grams from, because this is not at all thick, and not to mention, it doesn't go thick all the way to the bottom. Like, I mean, this one, they're both curled slightly, so it's kind of hard to tell, but as you can tell, the Bellami ones are so much more thicker on the bottom, and you just get more body, which is always what I'm looking for. So yeah, that's a big negative in my mind. So that was the biggest negative that, I mean, the first thing you look for is in extensions is how thick you're gonna want them. Now, I'm gonna be honest, not every girl wants the thickest extensions in the world, because if you have thinner hair, you're not gonna wanna put a huge, big ol' thick weft around the crown of your head, because it's just gonna stick out because your hair is super super thin. You're gonna either have to do a bunch of teasing and you're gonna have to work with it for a long time to get it to blend, or if you just get more of a mid-length gram weight of hair, it'll blend a lot more. So that was kind of my idea behind going with Foxy Locks, because in the back of my mind, I knew that nothing was gonna be as thick as Bellami, but at the same time, I didn't want extensions that would just stick out like a sore thumb. I didn't want people to be like, oh my god, look at her thick extensions, you could totally tell. Which I feel like you kind of get that effect with Bellami. Not to mention, this did not match my regular brown hair. So yeah, I decided to go with a darker brown color with Foxy Locks and then just dye my hair for my upcoming wedding. And I do really like, I think it is a bit dark for me. I mean, I know I'm wearing a dark lip, so it's kind of it's throwing me off right now, to be honest. But I wanted it to blend more, and I think that was my biggest problem with Bellami, was that these are just so thick. I honestly would only have to wear 2 wefts to get a lot of length and fullness around my head. On the other hand, Foxy Locks isn't as thick as I would like. I guess just every brand has their own idea of what grams are or what thickness is, I think, because with Foxy Locks, I have to wear at least 4 wefts on my head, which is kind of annoying, I'm not gonna lie, because if you just put 2 wefts and clip them in your head like I did with Bellami and you're out the door, you don't feel the wefts directly pulling at your hair all day long. Whereas with Foxy Locks, I have to wear 4 of them and they're clipped in all around my head, so it's a bit more uncomfortable. I mean, I'm super used to it because I use, extensions all the time. So if you're one person that wants to, not feel your extensions, I would probably go with something with a higher gram and then just wear less wefts. So anyways, back to the Foxy Locks. I like them a lot. I think that this is dark brown, exactly what it says. Bellami, I feel like their colors are off. I guess the descriptions and what they think is the right color, I don't think it's accurate. Also with Foxy Locks, as far as how soft and workable the hair is, I've been wearing these for about 2 weeks and I curl them every other day or every day, depending on what I'm doing. And they're super easy to curl. They hold the curl. They don't just fall. With Bellami, I don't think the hair is as soft as Foxy Locks. I think that the Foxy Locks hair is just so soft, and this is basically my ideal hair texture, which is kind of what you want if you're paying for fake hair, or not fake hair, but it's real hair. But yeah, you want it to be as soft as possible. I think that Foxy Locks is a lot more soft than Bellami, and a lot more manageable and workable because it's a little bit more thin. I do like the fact that you can control how much hair you're gonna put on your head. I know that sounds strange, but with Bellami, I feel like it's a glam look every day. You can't be as simple and minimal with your hair, so if you just wanted to be more natural and not have as much in your face extensions, you can just clip 1 or 2 wefts in with Foxy Locks and you'll just have a little bit more body and fullness, and you're not gonna be like having to curl your hair because you want it to blend more. These are very blendable because they're not as thick, so I do like that. But if I had to choose one for my viewers, I would tell you to go with Bellami, just because I like thick hair and they offer more, more options for you and more of a color range for you. They have ombre, they have just crazy colors if you want to experiment with your hair. They're honestly, in my opinion, almost as soft as Foxy Locks, and they're very workable. But I do like Foxy Locks because they carried the true dark brown shade that I wanted. And I also wanted to mention that I did go a bit shorter with my extensions, because I think with the Bellami they were 22 inches, which was ridiculously long. Like, you could totally tell because my hair is only up to, I'll show you guys. I'll try and show you guys, but basically my natural hair is about right here. It ends right here, as you can see that line right there. So when I put in 22 inches of hair, you can totally tell. And for the purpose of this video, I did not cut the extensions, because when I did the other Bellami review video, a lot of people didn't want to see me cut the extensions because they wanted to know exactly how long it was. So right now I'm actually gonna go cut my extensions about right here, just so they look more natural and not as fake and in your face. So this is what 22-inch extensions look like with 4 wefts, so keep that in mind. So as I said, the bottom isn't as thick as I would like. It's kind of thinning, and I like really thick hair on the bottom. I think that's the purpose of extensions. They blend well. I think my hair is a little bit too light. I need to darken it 1 more shade, at least on the bottom. So yeah, basically I really do like Foxy Locks extensions. They're so soft, they're really blendable. You have more options because you get more varying lengths of wefts. So if you don't have a super large head like I do, then you'll probably just want to wear a few of the smaller inch wefts. I feel like they're gonna hold up really well. I've been wearing them every single day just about for the past 2 to 3 weeks, and they're still just as soft as the day I got them. And I curl them and I straighten them and they hold everything. I kind of like straighten curled today, so I didn't do anything too crazy. The price is pretty much identical. The only thing is with Foxy Locks, you guys probably already know this if you've watched other reviews, but they are a UK based brand, so you do get free-ish shipping. I mean, there's a tax or like a duty fee, but it's like $6 or something. So I think that both of the extensions from Bellami and Foxy Locks, they're around the $215 mark, which in my opinion is very good because I've always wanted those sewn in, or I guess taped in extensions, which are $1,000. And I have never brought myself to make the decision to pay that much money to have fake hair because the clip-ins look so good, especially when I cut them. So yeah, basically it's a really good deal, especially if you wear extensions as much as I do. Like I said, I would go with Bellami for your first set, or if you're looking for a new set of extensions, because the thickness is just unbeatable. They're amazing and they've held up the entire year. And you also, I think the biggest thing for me is you get the same thickness at the top of the weft as you do at the bottom of the weft. And this one, and with Foxy Locks, I feel like there's just a little bit of a difference. Each weft gradually gets, I guess, more hair on the top to less hair on the bottom, which I think is a more natural look. Most people don't retain the same amount of thickness as they have coming out of the root of their head to the bottom of their hair. So I do like that for a more natural look. But in my opinion, the basis of extensions is to give you more body and fullness and length, and you really just want something that's overall more thick than your natural hair. Again, it depends on your preference. If you want to go more natural, I would highly recommend Foxy Locks, but if you want to have the option to go more glam and wear less wefts, then I would go with Bellami. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. If you guys liked it, then please go ahead and give this one a thumbs up below. Also make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I put up new videos about 3 to 4 times a week. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye guys. I wear my black ones that look almost identical to this that I got last year from Lulu's all the time. I wear them so much that I need a new pair, which is so rare for me.